Some people think passive play is camping. They're wrong. A good passive player is actively tracking the game flow, forecasting the optimal positions in each zone, and moving to secure the most advantageous place to be. Passive players see unnecessary engagements, that is, engagements that don't create a clear increase in their chances of victory, as a distraction. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a passive player. Being a good passive player requires an excellent level of game and player knowledge that are a testament to your ability. If you're a passive player and people call you a trash camper, just throw up an Oscar the Grouch meme and smile as they're drugged to the gulag. Now that that's out of the way, welcome back to the channel, guys. Maverick here with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today we're going to walk through my recommended passive playstyle drops and loadouts. You'll remember from my aggressive drops and loadout video that I divide Verdansk into 4 quadrants. I have a primary drop location for each quadrant. These are the drop locations that I favor if I'm going to play the passive playstyle. For a passive playstyle drop location, I'm looking for a location that will typically require me to fly further than most players are willing to. I also want a building layout that allows for easy escape, which tends to mean rounded clusters of buildings. This way, I can bail or disappear if something doesn't feel right with the drop and reassess. I also look for drops that tend to favor the outside of the map, where it seems most final circles will tend to drift and offers plenty of opportunity for a methodical, thoughtful rotation in the pacing that I feel is best for each match. Just a reminder, these recommendations are for players whose primary focus is winning the match. Not for kills, not for clips, not for memes, not for challenges, winning the match. So let's walk through each spot. First, in the northwest quadrant, we have a 6 building section in the north of Dam, about midway up the mountain. This is often a forgotten about section of the map, unless a circle forces players here. If you drop here and have company, it'll typically be with players that play in a similar way that you do, which means you can do some early damage and send them fleeing towards the map's center, or you can set yourself up for a quick kill and grab some cash by laying a trap. The building variance and elevation differences make it an easy place to lose track of players, which plays into your passive playstyle. If things turn on you with this drop, you've got multiple avenues of escape that don't pin you in a terrible position. My only negative point for the drop is if a zone pulls towards military base, this rotation forces you into wide open space or into a commonly run area for players that like to favor the northern edge of the map. If this occurs, I recommend rotating early through the mountain range to the south and re-establishing your game plan from there. The mountain range is one that players often forget how to navigate, and they frequently wait until the last possible moment to rotate, which gives you an easy kill opportunity or provides bait to distract players that are further in the zone so you can sneak around them. Next, we've got the northeast quadrant. This is a pretty unique section of the map. I feel like unless the zone forces players into this quadrant, it's one of the least populated in the map. Player density seems to be concentrated at the quarry and the bunker bridge section. I recommend landing at the fire station in this quadrant. You've got plenty of loot here, solid cover, an ammo stash, and you've got better rotation options from this position than from the bridge. With the recent updates, you want to be careful of players going to the bunker, but most of the time they'll announce themselves with a vehicle. That is the red keycard bunker. You want to be careful with this drop if it's at the beginning or the end of a transport route. Those are instances when it'll be an overpopulated drop site. If I were to drop at this location, I'd want it to be a transport route that required me to stretch my flight a little bit further than the average drop. Next location is the southwest quadrant. This cluster of houses is south of a potential buy box location. This spot has a reasonable amount of loot and typically offers wide open rotations to the south in the early game. Promenade West tends to pull any residual jumpers from the transport, and it's not often that you'll find players near the racetrack in the early game. Boneyard is a welcome distraction for kill-seeking or undisciplined players that pulls most of the attention if anybody is rotating in the early and mid-game. This is a good place to stretch your drop to, and will typically result in a few minutes of undisturbed looting. The con to this location is the lack of access to a concealed buy station. If you visit one of the 3 surrounding buy stations, that is, buy station spawns, be quick because anyone in the map can pretty much see you. The last drop location is in the southeast quadrant on the east side of farmland. There's a relatively large stretch of houses and barns. Similar to the other drop locations, this area offers a variety of close quarters with multiple ways to access or escape buildings. This area will tend to have a higher population density from the other recommended drops, and a negative element of the drop is contending with players either holding the prison or rotating from the prison. You'll have less time to loot because of these factors, but the level of loot density should really offset that risk. Most players are going to avoid the far east section of this quadrant during the early and mid stages of the match. You'll see some players drifting that way around the 3rd circle closure. This is a reasonable spot if you're focused on getting an early loadout. You can easily visit a buy box and then move to a secure area to drop your loadout uninterrupted. Let's take a look at my recommended loadouts. In this segment, we're going to walk through 4 loadout recommendations. We've got the sniper only class, the long range no sniper class, the best all around class, and a close quarters class. Let's start with the sniper only. For this class, I recommend an AX50 with a lightweight suppressor, 32-inch factory barrel, variable zoom scope, the marksman stock, and a bipod. I'm going with the lightweight suppressor over the monolithic because of the mobility reduction that comes with the monolithic option. This is a high accuracy, high damage sniper that will allow you to engage from medium to super long range. You want a hard hitting sniper to make sure you do maximum damage with each shot, and its high level of accuracy allows for limited bullet drop and a high likelihood of one-shot headshots. Try to engage from a crouched or prone position to take advantage of the bipod. We're going to back it up with a solid pistol platform in the 45 ACP X15. I recommend the Vanguard Elite, tack laser, match grade trigger, a 26 round clip, and the stippled grip tape. This build is focused on getting ADS quickly and finishing opponents with accurate chest and headshots. Like most of the passive player loadout recommendations, we're going to go with Cold Blooded and Ghost. This class in particular, I'd recommend pairing Shrapnel with proximity mines to provide some extra protection through open areas as cars or people might try to sneak up on you. The smoke will allow you to break sight and reset fights, especially when someone engages you with some distance. Next up for our non-sniper long-range class. For this, I recommend the SKS with a tactical suppressor, the FTAC landmark barrel, the integral hybrid sight to cover both long ranges and up-close distances, the FTAC Hunter Scout stock, and a Commando foregrip. This is a powerful all-around DMR that allows you to drop players a distance with 3 solid shots and still have the versatility to use it up close by switching to your mounted red dot on the integral hybrid scope. I recommend running this class with overkill with the Origin shotgun. The dual sight on the SKS allows you to cover your long and medium range engagements. The Origin is going to be an overwhelming weapon for the hyper-aggressive players that rush you, and a nice change of pace when someone assaults your secured building. Most players aren't expecting to run into a close-range shotgun, especially in later stages in the match, so I recommend running the Origin with the choke, the Forge Tac precision barrel, the Merc foregrip, a 12-round ammunition, and the stippled grip tape. Once you start shooting, don't stop until they're dead or you're empty. Perks are going to be Cold-Blooded and Overkill, with Shrapnel paired with proximity mines. Also going to do a stun grenade to help with those situations where someone's assaulting your position in a building. We'll call this one the Attic build. Next is my all-around recommendation. It's an M13 with monolithic suppressor, the Tempest marksman barrel, the 4X flip hybrid optic, Forge Tac stalker, and a 60-round magazine. This is a really strong all-around weapon platform that will perform on the higher end of any given engagement you encounter. A little bit of a surprising change of pace, I'm recommending the combat knife as your secondary. This is a sneaky way to trap people at doorways and can provide a counter to cheeky fellows looking to assassinate you. We are sticking with the proximity mine and using the snapshot grenade as a tactical. The snapshot grenade can give you an advantage when engaging doorway to doorway, but it also freaks people out. I like to tag a guy from distance, say, the opposite house as me, to buy myself 5 to 10 seconds to flee while they're still trying to figure out what happened and if you're about to rush them. Last up, for our close quarters passive class, I'm recommending the Fennec. This is an extremely fast-firing gun that can overwhelm most enemies that you catch off guard. It's built for hipfire or sprint out ADS so you can get downrange quickly. We've got the ZLR deadfall barrel, the 5mm laser, the Merc foregrip, a 40-round drum mag, and stipple grip tape. Hold the trigger down and don't stop until you hear it click, which shouldn't be a problem because it fires about 12 billion rounds a minute. We're going to back this up with the ever useful RPG to solve even your toughest of hallway problems. As usual, we've got Cold-Blooded and Ghost. I'm going to recommend Battle Hardened to give you an edge in case somebody stuns you or some of the other tacticals that are out there, keeping your lethal as proximity mine. There you have it, guys. We've got my recommended passive style drops and loadouts. Next up on the list is for tactical players, so make sure that you're subscribed and have notifications on for when that video drops. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like or a subscription. It's greatly appreciated. To anyone out there that felt a little bit like a black sheep or an oddball because of your passion for gaming, just like I did, know that you've got a home in this community. To all my other misfits, take care.
Target marked. Call for fire.
This is Loader 2-0. Good copy. Cluster strike away.
Gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Mission accomplished. All targets eliminated.